Welcome back to Man Down Sports. As you can see from the thumbnail, we're going to be discussing the Lakers and the Blazers, the game from last night. The Lakers got a win on that one, right? And they was playing without LeBron James, which I don't know. Like, sometimes I expect the Lakers to play a certain way and to play, inspired, more team oriented, where they're not relying on LeBron. And I don't even know. I don't even want to say relying on LeBron, right? I don't think that teams that LeBron are on are relying on him. I think teams that LeBron is on, I think they're being handicapped. To some people, it look like they're relying on him, but it's like one of those things. Like I want to showcase my skills and everything I can do. However, the best player on the team, in most cases when he was in his prime, but as of right now, he's not the best player on the team, but he's the leader and the face of the team. The way I play basketball, to the best of my ability, don't mesh well with the way the face of our team plays basketball. And that was a problem the first year he got in Miami, because that was the first time he played with a player who played at the level that he played at, and Dwayne Wade, and to a lesser degree Chris Bosh, right? That's the first time LeBron played with players that was on that level, where it wasn't a clear cut, it's going to be my way or the highway. When he was in Cleveland, Ilgauskas, he was a number one pick. He tried to, carry a franchise and carry a team. He couldn't stay away from the injury bug. I think his first 2 or 3 or 4 seasons, he was in and out of injury reserve because of bad feet. He kept having to have surgery on his feet, and it took him a while to get, get on solid ground. And by the time LeBron got there, he was a shell of himself a little bit, but not quite, because I think he still made an All-Star the year before LeBron got there. Maybe 1 year while he was with LeBron, he made All-Star. So he was still an effective player. But my point is this: he knew he wasn't the man. Ricky Davis thought he was the man, and they had to get rid of him. Because anybody is going to think that they're the man when we obviously giving this young buck the keys to the city. We can't have no one thinking that they're the man that's going to hinder him, right? So Ricky Davis had to get out of there. Carlos Boozer. It's kind of weird the way that story went with how he got to Utah. So I don't know if it was the same thing as the Ricky Davis thing. But they cleared Cleveland out and got players around him that would not challenge him as being the one. So the way that he wanted to play offense to the best of his skill set and his ability was not challenged at all. It was going to be his way. Fast forward to Miami, that first year where they were struggling. Remember, they came out the gates. They wasn't winning games like we thought they was. Like, we knew they had a super team, but they weren't playing like a super team when they first started. They had to figure it out. But by the time they got to the playoffs, they was able to figure it out, and they was, getting through the playoffs pretty good. And they got and hit a buzzsaw in the finals against Dallas, and they made them look really bad. Definitely made LeBron look bad. But the way that they got fixed was from Wade's own mouth. I had to take a back seat and let him be the one and drive the car. There was no more challenging for that. Someone had to make a decision to go back and take a back seat and be Scottie Pippen, right? So, because it's not gonna work, and Wade felt like he the one who had to do it, because one, he said LeBron's the best player in the world. That's what he said. So he was like, why wouldn't I take a back seat to him? But in his mind, he probably felt like, I'm just as good as him, if not better. But for him to just bow down to that, it takes a lot, because the social media in the world was telling everybody that LeBron was besides Kobe being the best, but they were saying LeBron is that next one, because obviously he was younger than Kobe, and we knew eventually the lead was going to be his. So they was already kind of foreshadowing it, right? So that's what Wade said. But you after that, you've seen that plenty of times in his career. Bosh, Wade both had to scaled their game back a lot. Now, it didn't seem so much like a clash in Wade's case because Wade's body was failing him, specifically his knees. So Wade's knees was getting, deteriorated year after year. The older he got, the worse his knees got. So it was a natural, and he was older than LeBron. So it was a natural progression of, I got to give him the keys. It's not me. I got to give him the keys, right? So that was a little easier. And then Bosh, Bosh is not really on the level of Wade and LeBron. So, but then he get to Cleveland and he got a younger guy. It's different now. He's got a younger guy, not an older guy like Wade. He's got a younger guy, and obviously his body was, intact. But the issue that he had was the same issue that Shaq and Kobe had. Kobe's younger than Shaq. Shaq's the big dog, but Kobe is coming up behind him, and he wants to show that he's a big dog as well. So the Lakers had to make a decision on getting rid of Shaq so we can move forward with Kobe. And where it got to that point where Kyrie felt that same way as well. But the point is, Kyrie, before that, had to scale his game back. And then so did Kevin Love. Right? Why am I saying all this? Well, when LeBron was in his prime, when people were scaling their game back for him and not showing most of their game, it was okay. All right, we get it, because LeBron was still able to carry a team. Now that LeBron is past his prime, about to turn 40, people scaling their game back for him is not working because LeBron can't carry a team anymore. So on the surface level, his name and him being the face of a team, obviously he's the team leader. Obviously he's the face, but he's no longer the best player. And if he's the best player, that would explain why they're losing. They're relying on their 40-year-old being their best player. It can't happen like that, right? So it's so many things is mismatched. He's the best player on paper and by name, but not by game. His game don't prove that no more, right? But his salary also does it. So your salary is, I'm the number one guy and I'm the best player, but you're not. So you're paying number one guy money to a guy that ain't number one. That probably should be a number three. He probably should be in that Kevin Love, Chris Bosh role right now. They need to have two real number ones, number one and a number two. Realistically, LeBron's probably a number three, right? He's probably what Aaron Gordon is to the Denver Nuggets. You got Jamal Murray, you got Jokic, and then you got Aaron Gordon, right? But I mean, you really got Michael Porter Jr. too. So I mean, I don't know who the number three is there, but LeBron's realistically probably in there. They probably should start doing that. But that's why they look like they did today. But no, another thing, they got the Blazers, and I think the Blazers was on the back end of a back-to-back. So that's one thing. They playing at home in LA, and they probably feel like they had something to prove. They had the game beat. That was in double digits in the third quarter. I think they put the bench in pretty early. They only got 25 assists. If you compare that to the overtime game they had with the Hawks, they had 40 assists in that game. So I wasn't expecting that. But here's the difference, though. D'Angelo Russell, he had 28 points, 14 assists. But more importantly, he only had 2 turnovers. And then when you look at the turnovers for the entire team, this was a problem for the Lakers, especially LeBron James and AD at times. AD only had 1 turnover, and there was no player on the entire team of the start. Well, the entire team that had more than 2 turnovers, including D'Angelo Russell, who was the person who handled the ball and played point guard, which is his natural position. He was able to get 28 points just on 17 shots. He was 50% from 3, 5 of 10. 5 rebounds, 14 assists, a steal, only 2 turnovers, a 7-to-1 turnover ratio. I take that. Right. So we're trying to force LeBron to be a leader of the offense and to still be the point forward or the point guard. You lock yourself into offense. JJ Redick's trying to get some movement in it, and he's trying to get some wrinkles in it and stuff like that. I seen some horns actions where AD was at the elbow, and LeBron might be at the elbow as well, and they might throw the ball right there in that high post, to the elbow to them, and try to get some off ball screens or some dribble handoffs. I mean, they're trying to do a couple of things to avoid just doing the 5-man out high screening roll thing with LeBron. But LeBron has been doing it for so long, so it's only so long that he's going to try to run something other than that. So he'll try to run a couple of plays with JJ's offense, but when they really need a bucket, they're going to go to LeBron, middle of the floor, 5-man out, spread, 2 guys in the corner, 1 guy on the wing, 1 big coming to set the screen for LeBron. And that's what they're going to do. That's what LeBron wants to do for 4 quarters. That's what he's been doing for a long time. For 4 quarters, just running 5-man out. And I think when LeBron's not on the floor, they're able to do something different than that longer than just, let's do it a couple of times and then let's go right back to spread offense, 5-man out. Right. I think so so that's one thing on offense. They're able to avoid people standing around and people doing that hero ball 5-man out offense. Right. Then they're able to play a little bit faster. Right. And then the other benefit on the defense, this is key. They turned the Blazers over 17 times, but out of those 17 turnovers, 14 of them were steals. Those are live ball. Those turnovers are not shot clock violations or I threw the ball away out of bounds. These are live ball turnovers. These are steals. 14, and I don't know how many points they get out of turnovers, but 14 steals is pretty good. 7 blocks. And they only had 11 turnovers. Remember, LeBron's averaging 4 or 5 turnovers. He's averaging close to 5 turnovers. So you getting 5 from the point guard right off the back. Your quote unquote best player, you're getting 5 turnovers from LeBron right off bat. And he's probably getting you 9 assists. Right. So he's getting for every assist he's getting a turnover almost. I think it's almost a 2-to-1 ratio. For every 2 assists, he's getting a turnover. Right. For D'Angelo Russell, every 7 assists, he's getting a turnover. So I like that 7-to-1 ratio a lot better than that 2-to-1. 2-to-1's horrible. You give me 5 turnovers, I take the 5 turnovers. If you can give me 4-to-1, for you to accept the 5 turnovers and you want a 40-roll, maybe 3-to-1. So if you getting 15 assists with those 5 turnovers, that might be legit. But 9 and 5 turnovers, I don't want you to handle the ball no more. Right? What's the incentive of letting LeBron handle the ball if he's going to turn it over 5 times every game? Like, oh man, I take those turnovers because he's a great passer. But you don't need a great passer to get your offense running. Right? The only way you need one guy to run your offense and get the assist for you is if you have if you got player, like all of your players got one arm, they just can't pass. They're good. They need this one guy to get them assists. You got a team full of Cal Corvus. They can't dribble. They can't pass. All they can do is shoot threes. If you got a team full of those and then LeBron, then maybe you play 5-man out and just let one guy get all your assists. But if you got multiple playmakers, like what's going on with Denver, which I'll talk about in a minute, but like what's going on with Denver, they want Jokic to get every assist. But you got Jamal Murray, very capable. You got a great assist man coming off the bench in Westbrook, very capable. You got a starting point guard and a backup, very capable of distributing the ball. It don't have to be Jokic. They just want it to be Jokic. And it's not like they're forcing, they have to do it because they have a lack of playmakers. No, they're doing it because they just prefer that Jokic get the assist. Where every smart coach knows it's not about who get the assist. It's just about that my team is sharing the ball and making it hard for defenses to defend them or figure out what it is they want to do. Right. So that's what I want to get to first with Iguodala, kind of breaking it down. So Iguodala he still has a podcast called Point Forward. It's him and Evan Turner. And this is from last year when he said this. And I thought I reacted to this, but I looked on my channel and I didn't see myself do it. So this is something I wanted to react to, and I never got a chance to. And I ran across it again yesterday, and I was like, "Oh, this would be good to talk about with the community." And he was breaking down the brilliance of the triangle offense and why it's so much better than what these teams are falling into the trap of doing in this, present day of the NBA basketball, where they're just doing a 5-man out basketball and giving their best player the ball and spreading the floor, putting two shooters in the corner and the shoot on the weak side wing, and then setting the screen, and that's your offense. One person gets the assist. You might authorize where one other guy can get assist, because in the offense like that, they have a second playmaker. Like in Luka's case, Luka is the guy that's designed to get all the assists, but his co-star Kyrie, we can run the same offense with Kyrie, so they can just take turns. But Luka's going to do it primarily, so he's the one that's going to end up with 10 to 12 assists a game, and then Kyrie will end up between 5 and 6 assists a game, because he's doing it, but he's doing it in the secondary role. Kyrie's role in that offense as a co-star is whenever you get the ball, you shoot it. Just put it up. Just shoot. Right? But you also got to be ready to stand in the corner and let Luka do his thing. And this came out of Mark Cuban's mouth. Kyrie knows he's got to stand in the corner. That's what he said. So that's what teams are falling into the trap of doing. So this is what Iguodala said. This is how he broke it down.
Jordan, he really kind of changed the game, and no one ever says it, but
that's BJ Armstrong. That is not Iguodala. Here's Iguodala.
MJ, he would catch on the wing, wouldn't dribble, and then once he took his dribble and they double teamed him, it's easy to find an open man when you're attacking at the elbow or you're on the wing position. And that's why he kept finding Steve Kerr, and you got your two bigs low. That 5 out, it's easy to guard that. But when you got a real live person at the basket, the closer you catch to the basket, you're going to get any shot you want, or if they double or triple team you, swing, you're going to get a wide open look. But it's hard to get a wide open look with a live dribble so far from the basket. The defense can rotate easier when the ball's so far out. But when it's in attack mode at those elbows, those trigger points, Phil Jackson put that bull at a certain spot on their home court for a reason. This is where you should be at a triangle. But he did it on purpose. When you go back and look at those Bulls horns, that logo is on certain spots on the floor on purpose. It triggers shit for their offense. And that's how MJ was attacking in certain areas. And that's how he knew he gonna find somebody. He's like, I'm gonna get a look, or I'm gonna get somebody a wide open look so I can trust moving the ball out of there. MJ.
So and he made very good points, right? One being that the 5-man offense, 5-man out offense is easy to guard. And he didn't say it was easier to guard than what the triangle offense was. He was just saying it was easy to guard, period. And that's why LeBron James had so much trouble beating teams like San Antonio in the finals, or Dallas in the finals, or the Golden State in the finals, because those teams were very disciplined defensively, and those teams also both ran very highly sophisticated offenses, right? And that's a bad combination for LeBron James-led teams, because they're running an elementary offense playing against a team that's running a sophisticated offense, on top of that team also being a top defensive team. So they discipline defensively, they're focused defensively, and they can easily focus on 5-man out, ISO, hero ball type stuff, right? And the way they did it was, one, okay, we got a defender like Kawhi Leonard who can actually stay in front and be strong enough to battle LeBron and all those things. So we can put Kawhi Leonard on LeBron and get his numbers, but Kawhi is going to make him work for every point that he tries to get, and we don't have to double as much or at all, right? Because the way LeBron runs that offense is once he gets downhill, when that double starts to come, then his secondary power, which is his passing, starts to kick in. And now you're guessing because, like, I don't know if I should help or not. You get what I'm saying? Because I don't want to get him the dunk or the layup. But if I help, he's gonna find that pass, and then I'm gonna give up a three, right? And then now I'm guessing. One time I help, we get a three. One time I don't help, he get a dunk. And now it's like, man, we don't know what to do. And that's when you start to, the other team start to roll. But if you're never doubling and you're telling LeBron, you're gonna have to score 75 on us, big dog, because ain't none of them getting no open threes. And I know that's how your offense get to going. If your offense becomes one-dimensional, it's very easy to guard, right? Kobe also said that 5-man out was easy to guard because he said when the ball is at the top of the key and one player had got a live dribble, right? That a live dribble already limits some of the things that you can do, right? People don't understand how powerful that triple threat is, and not having a live dribble, you still having a dribble that you ain't even used yet. You just got the ball. That's why a lot of times the point guards bring it up. They give the ball up and then come right back and get it. So they're not already with a live dribble, right? So that triple threat is powerful, right? But anyway, Kobe was saying when you got the ball at the top of the key in the guard's hand, and he's with that live dribble, all 5 defenders are facing the ball, looking directly at him, and it's very easy to like key in on it. Like we're all looking at it. We're looking at the ball. It's right there in the middle. I don't have to turn my head. My head don't have to be on the swivel. There's nobody moving. Like everybody's standing still. 2 guys in the corner. It's just only movement is the guy that's coming to set the screen. Everybody else is just sitting there looking. Right. That's a very easy offense to stay in front of. The kind of key in on, right? But when everyone's moving and everyone's a threat and the ball is moving and the players are moving, there's screens here and screens there and counter actions and back doors and all these things going on, that's very hard and frustrating for defenses to key in on, because now what happens is instead of that ball just being up there in the top of the key where all 5 defenders are just facing the ball, now you got the ball coming down here in the post, and now it's that close to the basket. So now what people got to start doing is cheating off their man or helping all the way 100%, right? You start doing different things once that ball get down in the paint in the post. That's why the ball went to the post in the 90s every play, because it triggered everything, right? So once that ball started doing that, that's when everything else activates. It's in the post. You got somebody that can go back door and maybe get some type of pocket pass, right? You got some off ball screens that can happen. People, Draymond Green is very notorious for getting the ball in the post and looking to pass out of that post, right? Even if you're not even a real threat to score, having the ball in the post, you have to get attention paid to you, right? And if you're a willing pass out of the post, you can be dangerous like Golden State was. I mean, so many things that you can do. So that's a lot better than 5-man out offense, and that's what Iguodala was talking about. He was talking about how the triangle offense was just perfect for it, right? So specifically about the triangle offense, B.J. Armstrong, who also played in the triangle offense with Michael Jordan, he's still involved in NBA basketball, so he can compare and contrast. But here's how he explained what MJ and Kobe were actually operating as when they was in the triangle.
Jordan, he really kind of changed the game, and no one ever says it, but here's what it is. Michael Jordan, if you say, what position did he play? He played the 2 position, right? Kobe Bryant, what position did he play? The late Kobe Bryant, what position did he play? Well, you would probably say he's a shooting guard. But here's the truth. He really played the 5 position, both of them. He was a center because they caught the ball below the free throw line probably 30 or more times a night. They played from the post. Why was he a center? Because he understood the following principle. Penetration is a part of an elite team. That's why you play the game from the post. you have to get the ball to the post, right? You have to have a penetrating pass to get it there to where the players, now you can pass to the other 4 players on the floor. That's a fact. It's not this old school, new school thing. You have to tell it like it is.
He said Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan basically played center. Now, if you think about those Bulls teams, specifically, the centers they had, Bill Cartwright, during the first three-peat. Second three-peat, Luke Longley, right? I think Will Perdue backed up Bill Cartwright. I think Bill Winnington backed up Luke Longley. Think about this, man. Out of all those centers, I kind of want to say Luke Longley was the best one, but Bill Cartwright, he had some years where he played with the Knicks and some people before he got to the Bulls, and he was old when he got to the Bulls. At least he looked very old and moved like he was old. He was a good center. I mean, he went to the line and he knocked his free throws down. He could hit a little baseline jump shot. He had the ugliest shot ever though, but I wouldn't say he was a bad, but it's kind of hard, because I didn't see early Bill Cartwright. So, but what I seen him in that first three people with the Bulls, I think Luke Longley might have been better than him, right? You could actually throw the ball into Luke Longley, get some offense. Like he was a skill center. But Luke Longley might be the best center that Mike played with. Luke Longley, and Bill Winnington was the backup. And then in the first one, Bill Cartwright, Will Perdue, right? Think about that, right? They didn't try to stack that. They didn't need all these, star play. I mean, they didn't need all of that. But in the triangle, Michael Jordan went in the post a lot. And what he understood about being a 6'6" big guard is that's one of your advantages, that post work. And what post work also does, starting with what BJ described, is that's the penetration. Now the way they penetrate is the dribble drive, because in a good offensive possession, I want to see, if at all possible, I want to see probably 4 things, right? Number one, I want to see the ball touch multiple hands. I want to see multiple passes, right? And I mean meaningful passes, not just passes just for people to touch it, just to say we did it. I need the defense to shift, right? So I don't want the offensive possession to show up with the ball here and the defense is watching the ball the whole time and they don't have to move. They can just stand where they at and the ball is never threatening the rim enough to make people actually rotate or move, right? So I want to see the ball touch multiple hands. And then the second, I want to see it reverse sides of the floor. So if it start off on the left side, everyone's going to load up watching the ball on the left side defensively. I need some actions to happen to where the ball actually reverse, because that's going to get the defense scrambling to rotate, to where the ball is going. So I need to see that happen. I need to see it touch multiple hands. I need to see the ball reverse sides of the floor. And then thirdly, I need to see the ball actually get into the paint, whether it's dribble penetration or whether it's going throwing the ball in the post, right? And then the fourth thing, I need to see a high percentage shot off of that, right? Preferably assisted shot, right? So if I can see those 4 things, I think we had a decent offensive possession. The problem is in this era is that they're coming down and it might be Luka, it might be Harden, it might be in this case, it's everybody now. Everybody's doing this offense. Whoever your best player is will bring the ball up as the point guard. And they will never pass the ball. They'll call for a screen, so hopefully they get a switch on a favorable matchup. And then they either try to get dribble penetration for a layup, and if the defense is sagging off of them and is not going to let them get the dribble penetration, they'll just do a step back 3. Now, mind you, The ball didn't touch multiple people. Only thing they did was use a screen, and they didn't even use the screen to actually get offense out of it. They used the screen because they know everyone is teaching to switch every screen. I don't care if you got the worst defender in the world with slow feet, switch that screen and put him on that point guard. So they know, and they're not even fighting over the screens. So as soon as the screen go over there, and it got to be a good screen. I just seen Draymond Green last night playing against Minnesota, had Rudy Gobert on him at the top of the key. Steph Curry came from inside the paint, and he was being guarded by McDaniels. And Draymond Green went through his legs, crossed to go right. And while he was going right, Steph was coming to screen Gobert. And McDaniels, I guess McDaniels felt like that he was going to, kind of slip that screen and just run to the top of the creek so Draymond can throw it to him for a three. So McDaniels' mind was on chasing Steph to the three-point line after he set the screen, not knowing that your rim protector is guarding the ball at the top of the key, and he's getting a screen set on him, and Draymond's penetrating to the right. You can't chase Steph, right? You can't. And he didn't even call the screen. Gobert didn't even know the screen was right there. It was horrible. I'm like, these are professionals. You didn't call that screen. And then you only thinking about chasing Steph to the three-point line. You ain't thinking about this layup dunk you about to give up. And that's exactly what he did. It was a major shot that they was down by 7, I think, with like just under a minute left. They get a stop there. They can go down there and maybe get a 3 and turn it into a 2-possession game. Maybe you make it interesting, maybe, but you give that dagger up for a dunk. Anyway, nobody wants to fight over screens, and I mean, it's I don't know. It's just crazy the way that happened. But back to the possession though. So they're not fighting over screens, and that's all they're doing. They're just using the screen just so they can get a switch, right? So your best player can bring the ball up, use the screen, never make a pass. The ball never reverse sides, and they would never get to the paint before they take a step back 3. Like that possession can be 15 seconds of one player having the ball, getting one screen, getting one switch on the screen, and then he step backs for a 3, and that's the possession. My coach would have went nuts if we wasn't moving that ball like a hot potato, having the defense scramble, and we're finding creases where we can dribble penetrate. Like my coach didn't even like dribbles if you wasn't going toward the rim or attacking the gap. Like we would be dribbling and we would never pass the 3-point line. Like we was just dribbling up there. Two or three dribbles. He already at practice. He already blown a whistle. You took 2 dribbles and you still at the 3-point line. Blow the whistle, and then we'll be doing daggone drills where I want you to go from end to end on the court. I remember he did that before the season even started. He went and pulled me and my boy Otis out of class. This was middle school. This was middle school, and I think we were both in 7th grade, maybe 8th grade. We both was in 8th grade, and Coach was ready for us for the next season, but he was bragging about us and stuff like that. Pulled us out of class, took us to the gym, and he was like, I want you to show, because I think we had a new coach. I want you to show him something. And he was like, man, how many dribbles can you get a layup from the other end of the court? So we started all the way from end to end. And I think we was at half court, 2 dribbles. And then we was at layup, probably 3, maybe 4 dribbles. It only took us 4 dribbles from end to end to get a layup. And like something that simple, is impressive. That was impressive to my coach, because we understood, you don't have to do all that dribbling. You don't have to do too much. You know how to run the floor like that, right? So we learned a lesson that day, because once we started practicing with him, we realized that he didn't like a lot of dribbling. He just didn't like it. So if you was this point guard and you was dribbling that ball, if you was anybody on the wing and you was dribbling that ball in the half court set, you better, especially against a zone. Oh, he hated it against a zone because they giving you gaps to attack in a zone. You just gotta move the zone a couple of times and then find the gap. But if you come up here and they in a 2-3 or 3-1 or 3-2 or whatever, and you're just passing the ball around the wing, you're never gonna make that perimeter that's plans on. You're never gonna make them actually sweat, right? So you actually got to use the pass, and you got to at least use 1 or 2 dribbles to attack the gaps to kind of move the zone and break the zone down before you make that pass, right? You just can't come over here and just pass amongst the guards up top and think you go get a shot. You got to dribble and attack the gaps. Yeah, I was long-winded on that. My apologies on that, but no, you got to attack the gaps, and I don't understand how the pros are just not using that fundamental, basic, that just foundational stuff. I mean, like, how are you getting a 3-point shot off and you never made a pass, or if you made a pass, it was only one pass and you went and got it right back. You never threw the ball in the post. You never penetrated. You never attacked the gaps. You didn't put any pressure on the defense. You gave them, you bailed the defense out by taking a horrible shot that you could have got with 1 second on the shot clock. Like, those are desperation shots. Like, oh man, shot clock going down. Let me throw this up. You can run offense for 10 to 15 seconds and try to get a decent, high quality shot. And then if you don't, that shot that you just took from 3, that was a step back 3, you could get that with 5 seconds left on the shot clock. There's no need for you to do that in early offense. Like, you always got to be trying to penetrate and get to the paint, throw the ball in the post. But anyway, BJ Armstrong said, in the triangle offense, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, they were centers. They understood that. They're down low on the block. They threw the ball in the post him a lot, and they put in Rook down like they was Elijah Wan. Both of them did. So did Carmelo Anthony, and that's another thing I like about Carmelo. So did Dwayne Wade, right? And sometimes I see Kevin Durant try to do it, but what I hate about Kevin Durant in the post, for one, he's 7 foot, and Kevin Durant's jump shot is so good that sometimes it can be it could be one thing to hold him back, because I see him get the ball in the post against a smaller player, and I don't care if he's slim and slight of frame. He don't use pump fakes, which is cool. He's 7 foot, so why should he have to pump fake? But I get frustrated with him because his jump shot is so good. When he get the ball in the post, it's a turnaround fadeaway every single time. That's his shot. I don't see no hooks. I don't see no jump hook. I don't see no up and under. I don't see no boom, boom, pow. I don't see a pump fake. Like, Kevin Durant don't do none of those. And I think he knows it. He knows that he could do all that stuff, but his jump shot is so good. Most of the time he go hit that fadeaway. But I'm like, dude, you're fading away on and they allow so much contact on Kevin Durant in the post. You gotta put more pressure on the defense and the referees. Make them get to the line. Where's the pump fake at? Are you trying to get a foul on this dude or not? I hate it. He just fades away, man. So he could be such a great post player if he wanted to. As far as wing players, I haven't seen better post players other than Kobe, Mike, and Carmelo Anthony. They are insanely good in the post. Anthony Hardaway was good at Orlando before injury. Steve Smith was decent as well. Mashburn, maybe. Yeah, they were good in the post. We've lost that now. What guard go in the post now? I mean, Luka got the ability. Booker got the ability. He don't do it no more. Booker frustrates me as well. His jump shot's too good. His 3-point shot's too good. All his shots are threes and jump shots. I mean, he gets down here a little bit sometimes to try to get there, but I'm like, dude, what's the post work? Mid post, high post. Allen Houston would wear these dudes out in the post. He was just as good as anybody in the post from the wing position. Watch some Allen Houston footage. It's unreal that everything they get have to be from 5-man out dribble penetration, and that's it. And if the dribble penetration ain't there, they stepping back for a 3, step back jump shot, step back 3. It's boring as hell. It's boring as hell, man. So, last thing I talk about is Jokic. He just had a good game last night as well, as they beat the Hawks, and they beat them pretty good. And Jokic had another really good game. But he ended up with 56 night before last, and then last night he ended up with somewhere in the 40s. Great game, but I still wanted to talk about why I still don't think he's an MVP candidate with his team sitting at the 9th seed. Right? I just can't. I can't see. Let me see if I can pull up those stats really quick. I was supposed to make a graphic of it, and I really forgot to do it. But let me see if I can get in here. Okay. So what I was saying about Jokic in the MVP was, okay, you're in the 9th seed. And you want to be considered for MVP just for stats. Just and the only thing they can add to the stats is a story. Tell me a story. Give me a narrative. Tell me a story. What's the storyline? 2, 5, 1. Tell me what's the storyline, right? And the story is, Jokic he's out there by himself. His players ain't helping. He ain't got no help. He need help. He ain't got no all-star level point guard. And I'm like, man, y'all don't understand it. Y'all got Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr., and Jamal Murray, and all 3 of them are all-star level players. All 3 of them. But they're doing the Jokic fans are doing the LeBron thing, what their fans do. When things go wrong, we think in our mind as fans that our favorite player is perfect and above reproach. So we can never blame them, especially if they're putting stats up. Right? So they would rather blame D'Angelo Russell, Anthony Davis, Rui Hachimura, Westbrook, whoever the case may be. They'll blame the coach. They'll blame Jenny Buss. They'll blame the refs. They'll blame everybody except their favorite player, LeBron. And that's what we are annoyed by the media and by LeBron fans. Well, Jokic fans are doing the same exact thing. He's perfect. He can do no wrong. There's nothing he does wrong. If you point out this defense, they're going to say, well, he does X, Y, and Z. His rebounding is defense. Man, get out of town. Stop your man. That's the basic thing. Right? If you can stop your man, that's the basic thing. Whoever's in front of you and you're guarding that night or that play, can you stay in front of them and stop them and force them into a bad shot? Right? That's your first order of business for every man on the floor is, can you stop the man that you're supposed to stop? Bare minimum. If you want to go above and beyond that, do it by position. If you play on the perimeter on the wing, I expect you, if you want to go above just being able to stay in front of your man and don't give up easy baskets and layups, can you turn the ball over? Can you put enough pressure on somebody if you're a wing player? Let's say point guard. Can you pressure the other opposing point guard? Can you pick him up 94 feet and stay in front of him and make it easy for him to even get the ball across half court? Right? That's going the next level than just, okay, I can stay in front of him and contest everything, right? Right. Can you pick up 94 feet for a center, especially a 7-footer? Can you protect the rim? Can you protect the paint? Protect the paint in 2 ways. One, if you're defending a 7-footer that wants to operate in the paint, Can you muscle him down low? Don't let him get low position. Make him work for that. Push him out of the paint. Make him catch the ball as far away from the paint as possible. And then once he do catch it, defend him all the way to the rim and contest whatever he's gonna put up, right? Or block it. That's protecting the rim. But also help side. You're the 7-footer. You're the last line of defense. Can you rotate over there and block some shots or deter some shots or whatever at the rim? Right. That's what 7-foot is supposed to do. Right. So we can go on by position, but specifically for Jokic, are you protecting the rim? Are you stopping the man that wants to operate in the paint that you're defending? Well, there's only two centers other than Jokic that actually operate out of the post, and that's Embiid and Sengun. And every time Jokic face Embiid, it's lunch. He giving him 40 balls, 50 balls, whatever. So he ain't. If a center want to operate this, actually when they lost to the daggone whoever they lost to the Wizards, what was that center name? I forgot the center name. Gave him work. Gave him 20 something. He ain't had no business getting 20 points. So Jokic, no, he's not protecting the paint, and he don't rim protect. He don't get a lot of blocks at the rim. He's not doing that. So as a center, as a 7-footer, as a big man, he don't protect the paint. And, so he's failing at that defensive end. But Jokic fans will tell you, oh, they know all of that. So anyway, I'm talking about the MVP stuff, and I'm telling you why Jokic is not an MVP. He don't play defense, and the team success is not there. But his numbers make him the perfect candidate for Offensive Player of the Year. Give Jokic Offensive Player of the Year right now. There's nobody even close to it. Give him Offensive Player of the Year, but MVP is not for him. That's not his award. Actually, they need to take a couple of them for him. One of them he earned, but the one that he got in 6th seed, he was a 6th seed in the West and a 10th seed overall in the league. He got one like that, and then he got another one where he was like the 4th seed in the West and like a 6th seed overall in the league. I'm like, how? Now the one he got where he was like a number 2 seed last year. Okay, I give you that. I still would have gave it to SGA though, but I feel you, big dog. But no, MVP is not his award. They got MVP mixed up with Offensive Player of the Year. They got value mixed up with stats. Value and stats are not the same thing. You can't look at the stats and see somebody's value. You see somebody's value by watching the game, and then you can validate that by looking at the stats. But when I watch the game, the defense ain't there, and the stats validate the defense ain't there. As a team, I think they're like ranked like middle of the pack. Yeah, they got that rank. What is that? 19th defensive rating. Yeah, that's not good. Can't be 19th, right? Can't be 19th. So, but in the comment section on that video when I talked about Jokic and the MVP, a lot of people came in the comment section and had a lot to say, and they was giving me all this other stuff saying, well, they did. They ranked top 5 in offensive rating, and Jokic averaged like a steal a game, 2 steals a game. So, and he gets rebounds, 14 rebounds. So that's defense as well. And, he don't have no help and all this stuff. Right. And I was like, man, dude, Michael Porter Jr. is averaging like 19 points, man. Jamal Murray averaging like 17. Jamal getting 6 assists. Westbrook getting 6 assists. Man, they got like 8 people in the average double figures, right? And then Jokic is averaging 30 and 14 and 10 or 9. I'm like, what help does he need? Like, if I'm looking at it for real, man, I wish I would have made this bigger. But Jokic is averaging 32 points, 14 rebounds, and 9 what is his assist at? Oh, and 10 assists, right? Jamal Murray is averaging 18. Michael Porter Jr. is averaging 19. Christian Braun, first year starter, is averaging 15. Aaron Gordon is averaging 15. So you're averaging 31, and then you getting 17, 18, 15, and 15. And then you got two people off the bench, which is Russell Westbrook giving you 9, and Westbrook's giving you 11. I'm sorry. And Peyton Watson is giving you 9. So Russell's giving you double digits off the bench. He's giving you 11 and 6. What are we talking about with this help? Right? So I'm having this conversation with this guy, and I told him, how about this? How about we compare another big man to Jokic? Right? Because all of this stuff that Jokic is doing, I think the problems that they're having with the offense, why it looks like those guys are not helping him, even though they are, why it looks like that is because you can only see about 50% of Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr. You only see about 50% of their capabilities. Right? With Aaron Gordon, you might be getting a lot out of Aaron Gordon. He might have a little something in his game that we don't get to see that often, but for the most part, I think we're seeing what Aaron Gordon, he's operating close to his highest potential, close to it. But for Michael Porter Jr., only thing he's doing, he's getting 18 points by just catching and shooting. When he gets the ball, he just shoots it. 3, wherever he's at. It really has to be a 3. And he's hustling more on the glass and rebounding and getting offensive rebounds and stuff like that. And he's playing a little bit better defense. But as far as offense, they're using him like he's Klay Thompson. All we want you to do is shoot 3s. Michael Porter Jr. is 6'11" and got a handle better than, or probably on par with Kevin Durant. He has way more capability than what we're seeing, right? And why can't we see it? Well, what other role is it left on their offense, right? Because Jokic is the guy, if they want to post up, they're going to go in the post to Jokic. They don't go in the post to Michael Porter Jr. So we don't get to see Michael Porter Jr. in the post ever. We get to see Jokic in the post, right? As far as being a playmaker, that's Jokic. Point forward, that's Jokic, right? Distributor, primary assist guy, that's Jokic. So the only thing that's left in the offense is space, a floor spacer, and be ready for catch and shoot 3s, and screen setters. But guess who the screen setter is in this offense? Jokic. So the only thing left is catch and shoot, floor spacer. That's the only role that's left in this offense, and slasher. So Aaron Gordon slashes, Christian Braun slashes, Westbrook slashes, Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray spot up. Caldwell Pope, when he was here, spot up. Right? Spot up shooters. That's the only role that's left. Jokic is doing everything. And what that does is that gives him inflated stats, and it always has him in the MVP hunt. But it's probably one of the worst ways you can play basketball for your offense, is make your best player do everything. Right? And I can't, for the life of me, think why a coach would operate that way if they wanted to win, knowing the best way to win is not to do this. Phil Jackson knew that as a rookie coach, because this is how they was using Michael Jordan. You're so great, do everything. We would have never known how good Scottie Pippen was if Michael Jordan would have done everything. If Michael Jordan was the point forward and the guy taking 30 shots a game, we would have never known how good Pippen was. If he had to play like Michael Porter Jr., where he just catch and shoot 3s, we would never know how good Scottie Pippen was. Right? Jamal Murray, he's a point guard. He's averaging 6 assists now. But he could be averaging 10 instead of Jokic averaging 10. Why does Jokic have to be the point forward? Why you just can't let Jamal Murray run point? It'll be okay if somebody else get an assist. I know Jokic can pass his butt off, but I'm okay with not. I would rather miss out on the 2 spectacular passes out of the 13. Out of the how many assists? Out of the 10 assists he get, 2 or 3 of them might be spectacular passes. I'm okay with not having those 3 spectacular passes during the game. If it means that we're still going to have the same amount of assists at the end of the game. I think Denver might average 30 assists a game. I guarantee you, if Jamal Murray ran the offense more and he had 10 assists and Jokic only had 5, I guarantee you they'll still get 30 assists as a team. Right? And what you earn by that is that defenses and teams don't say all we have to do is stop Jokic, and we win. They would have to say, all right, well, Jamal Murray clicking on all cylinders too. We got to stop Murray too and Jokic, and we got to stop Porter. But nah, they saying, hey, look, everything we do is gonna be Jokic. Everybody else, y'all catch and shoot, and y'all get all y'all plays off script, all y'all points off script. But by design, Jokic is doing everything right. So anyway, so you see that 31 points, 18, 19, 15, 15, 11, 9. That's a lot of points, right? And I compared that to the San Antonio Spurs. This is 2013-14 year when they won the championship. The leading scorer was the point guard, Tony Parker. Let me ask you a question. Now, because we're looking at Tim Duncan and Jokic both as great big men. Tim Duncan is regarded as the greatest power forward of all time. Some people might say Karl Malone. Some people might say Charles Barkley. Some, maybe Dirk, but no, Tim Duncan, right? He's the greatest power forward of all time. He was able to get that title because we seen how good he was at Wake Forest. He was a number 1 pick. He came in as a rookie. Within 2 years, he had a championship with David Robinson. He took over. And I think within the first 5 years of his career, we seen that he was an unstoppable force in the post. But guess what Popovich had Tim Duncan do when he got Tony Parker in there? Because at some point, Avery Johnson, Sean Elliott, DeJuan Blair, David Robinson, they all left, retired, left. So Tim Duncan had to get his team kind of retooled around him. And that's when you get Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, and all those guys, right? So if Tim Duncan was playing like Jokic, where he was the one getting all the assists, and he still wanted, he still wanted 25 shots a game. He wanted all the assists. He wanted to play point forward as well, take 3 and all that stuff, and made Tony Parker and Ginobili and Kawhi Leonard. Because if you look at it, Kawhi Leonard at that time is what Aaron Gordon is for Denver. Kawhi Leonard was a great defender. He had a great body, so he could guard big wings without getting overpowered, right? So that's what Aaron Gordon bothered LeBron. He bothered KD. He bothered Anthony Edwards all in one playoff run when they won their championships. Great defender. And then he slashes, he runs, gets the cup, dunk. Neither one of them at that time had a great 3-point shot, but Kawhi Leonard was a good mid-range shooter at that time. But Kawhi Leonard was similar to Aaron Gordon, but Kawhi Leonard only averaged 13 points that season. Aaron Gordon right now, Aaron Gordon is getting you 15, right? So that's similar, right? That's similar. Tim Duncan and Jokic, same guy. Not really the same guy, but I'm saying they're similar. Tony Parker and Jamal Murray, who would you say better? Tony Parker gave you 17 points. Jamal Murray is giving you 18 points. That's similar, right? Who's better, Tony Parker or Jamal Murray? I'll let y'all decide, right? Right. Danny, who else was giving you points? Manu Ginobili off the bench, 6th man of the year that year, giving you 12 points off the bench, right? So if Kawhi Leonard offset with Aaron Gordon and Tony Parker offset with Jamal Murray and Tim Duncan offset with Jokic, who does Manu Ginobili offset with? Michael Porter Jr. But Michael Porter Jr. is giving you 19. Ginobili is giving you 12 off the bench. So you be the judge. Who had the most help? Tim Duncan and Jokic. And then on top of that, Tim Duncan didn't have to do too much. Tim Duncan only averaged 15 that year. And then when you get to the playoffs, Duncan averaged 16 and then Tony Parker averaged 17. So it wasn't that much of a difference. And Kawhi averaged 14. And of course, that was the year he got finals MVP when they won it. This is the year they won it, by the way. So who had the most help? And Tim Duncan was 37. But what Tim Duncan understood is that I don't have to go get all these stats. I just need to go get the win. And then if you look at San Antonio, they was ranked 3rd defensively and 7th offensively. So they was top 10 in offense and defensive rating. The Denver Nuggets is 19th. So the problem is not your help, Jokic. The problem is you can't help on the defensive end. The problem is Jokic. You're not a good defender, and your team is suffering on the defensive end, and you're doing too much on offense, and your help can't help you. The only time you need to be a hero is when someone needs help. When Lois Lane was eating lunch, Superman did not come and scoop her up because she didn't need help. But when Lois Lane was kidnapped, Superman had to come save her. When Lois Lane jumped off the freaking building, Superman swooped in and saved her before she hit the sidewalk. But when you got a player like Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., and Eric Gordon, they don't need your help. We don't need Jokic to assist us to score. Jamal Murray he's a grown man. He drove himself to the arena. He can get his own bucket. He can get his own shot. So can Michael Porter Jr. He was born creating his own shot. Nobody needs to create a shot for Michael Porter Jr. or Jamal Murray. So why the heck are we running offense where Jokic it has to be designed to assist everyone? That's the dumbest offense in the world. Just because your big man can pass don't mean you make him your point guard. That shit ain't cute. Let a point guard be a point guard. That's why they frustrated. You got this 7-foot around here trying to get all these assists, and you got a point guard right here capable of getting assists, and then his backup is the assist. I mean, like, come on, it's Westbrook. You got 2 point guards capable of getting assists. Why the hell are you still trying to you don't need to be a hero and do that. Tim Duncan showed you the blueprint. Less is more. Less is more. Now, did Tim Duncan get a whole bunch of MVPs in the regular season? Nah, because he wasn't chasing stats. He was chasing rings. And that's why he got 5 of them. And that's why Jokic got 1 and ain't probably getting back to the finals. And now everybody talking about, oh, you're wasting his prime and get him some help. What help can you get him? Like, if you replace Jamal Murray with another point guard that you think is better than him, so let's say somehow you get lucky and get Kyrie Irving. Kyrie don't need Jokic help for an assist. Are you still going to run that type of offense where Jokic got to be the one that's getting the assist? Or what if you get a point guard who actually passes better than Jokic, like LaMelo Ball? Who are you going to get the ball to? Are you going to give it to LaMelo or are you going to give it to Jokic? So it don't matter what help you bring in here. If you don't change the offense, they can't help. That's the problem. The Jokic help can't help. The offense blocks them from helping. And for you to design an offense where a guy gets a triple-double, it's actually bad that he don't get one. Like, if this offense designed for only you to get an assist and only you to take 30 shots, and then you're going to get the rebounds, this offense is designed for you to get a triple-double. So it's a shame where they're giving you that easy path to a triple-double and you don't get a triple-double. He should have 82 triple-doubles this season at the end of the season. Luka and Jokic should get 82 triple-doubles. If they don't get a trouble, that's a failure. You mean to tell me another 48 minutes went by of you being the only person designed to get an assist and you didn't get 10? That's how I look at it. But I'm off my soapbox. I catch y'all on the next episode. Happy holidays. Peace.